morning, great morning, great morning. You guys come on in. Come on in. You guys come on in. Come on in. Give you guys an opportunity to join me. Once you come in, let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And please go ahead and share. Go ahead and share. Great morning, April. Yes, Texas in the building. I love it. Hey, Summerlin. Great morning, great morning, great morning, gorgeous. Hey, my baby. Good morning, baby. Good to see you. Thank you for sharing, April. So, you guys, this morning I am clearly on the road again. I'm on the road doing something that I haven't done in a while, driving, okay? My baby been doing the driving, and I appreciate him so much for that. Thank you for sharing, baby. Yes, from the bed. Summerlin, hey, yes, Ohio. Hey, Mike. Great morning, Mike. So you all listen. I'm on the road. God woke me up early this morning. You know, my baby be asking me, well, what time you leaving? I be like, I have no idea. I don't know. But this morning, God woke me up and put me on the road. I've been really laid back driving. So, baby, just so you know, I'm in Gainesville. I stopped at Wawa, got me some coffee, got me a sandwich, and got some gas for a good price. So when I asked God, you know, what is it that he wanted to say to his people? Hey, Brandon, how are you, man of God? When I asked God, what is it that you want to say to your people? He said, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. And I said, God, what do you mean, don't you do it? Well, he began to talk about the don't you do it, right? One of the don't you do it that he spoke to me was, don't you do it, quit. Don't you do it. For some of you, you've been thinking about quitting. God gave you an idea. You've been operating in the idea. You just got started good, but it seems like it's not moving. It's not doing what you thought it was going to do, the way you thought it was going to do it, when you thought it was going to do it, and you want to quit. God said, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. See, you got to understand that at some point you're going to have to put some press in. I know you pressed in other situations, and it still didn't turn out the way you thought it was going to do, but you got to press until God says, stop. Don't you do it. Don't you quit. Don't you quit. Don't you quit. It may look different, but don't you quit. It may not be the way you thought it was going to be, but don't you quit. Y'all listen. Don't you quit. That's the first don't you do it. The second don't you do it is don't you get caught up. Don't get caught up. See, there's a lot of things that are going on around you that desire to get you caught up. Mike, no, you're not. You get ready to change it. You get ready to modify it. There's something different that you're going to do with it, but you're still going to do the relationship thing, but you've got to do it different. See, this is the thing about God. When God wants to shift how you do something, he will begin, angel number 111, he will begin to allow confusion, frustration, all of these things to come so that you can change how you're doing what you're doing. But don't you quit. You can't quit. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to do it differently. But because that's how you started it, that's how you've been trying to maintain it when you picked it back up. But God says, no, that's not how you're going to do it. It's not going to be a relationship line. It's going to be a relationship show. You're going to have hosts. You'll have guests, but you won't have all that anybody chatter. You won't have that. See, God is trying to establish you. And see, God can't establish you as long as you're allowing other people to guide and to direct. So you've got to allow God to use you the way that he wants to use you. On the screen. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. You're going to do it on the screen. You're going to do it on the screen. It's not. You can't be anonymous. You can't be anonymous. You're going to do it on the screen. And this is the thing about God. I love God so much. God showed me that a while ago. And I try to tell you a little something, but, I don't try to make people do nothing. I don't try to get in people's business. I say what God say, and when he say it, the way he say it, and then I rest, right? Until he say something else, right? But you can't quit. That's not an option. Quitting is not an option. Stopping is not an option. Good morning, Cleo. How are you? So, look, check this out. For those of you who have been like, I don't know if I want to continue, doing this, listen, I know that there is a level of frustration that you may be experiencing, but frustration is a part of the process. See, we don't want the process. We don't want the process. We want things to just happen and be what we want it to be. But there's a process to everything in life. A baby can't be born without a process. There's the process of its development in the mother's womb. There's the process of its birth. And then there's the process of its growth. Like all of that is process. Everything in life is a process. Our challenge is dealing with process. We don't like process. But it's in the process that you're prepared for the outcome. It's in the process that you're prepared for the outcome. I'm so grateful to God that he's given me more patience with the process. So, don't you do it. Don't quit. Don't you do it. Don't stop. Don't draw back. Don't you do it. The other don't you do it is a little more personal, okay? A little more personal. For some of you, for some of us, people may not understand you, and you may be tempted. You may be tempted to be who makes people comfortable. You may be tempted to become more palatable to people so they can tolerate you. You may be tempted. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. You continue to be you. You continue to be you the way God has made you, with the assignment that God has given you. You do what God has told you. And when God tells you something else, you shift. When God tells you. Only when God tells you. Don't you dare do it because someone else said it. Don't you dare do it because someone else thinks that's what you should do. Don't you dare do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. The assignment that God has for people varies depending on the person, their anointing, and where they are, right? Their maturity, their growth, all of those things play a role in it. See, when you understand that, then you will allow other people to fulfill their assignment while you fulfill your assignment. If you got time to focus on somebody else's assignment, you ain't doing enough on your own. If you got time to focus on someone else's assignment, you're not doing enough on your own assignment. Listen, you have an assignment that God has given you. God established your assignment before you were conceived in your mother's womb. He qualified you for it. He already qualified you. He qualified you. He called you to it. It's already been established what that assignment is, right? Now, it's your job to discover your assignment and walk out your assignment that you might fulfill it. If you got time to be focused on everybody else's stuff, then you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Now, granted, there are times when God will intertwine our lives and make us interconnected. And so we'll be connected and we'll be doing things together. God will help us supporting one another. But baby, can I just say this to you today? I need you to hear me and hear where this is coming from. When you are tempted to change your assignment so that it fits within the confines of what you're familiar with, is what God is desiring to do in your life. Don't you do it. I don't care how many people don't understand it, don't get it, say you ain't saved, say, you're not looking like Christ, you're not doing this, I don't care how many people say it. It's irrelevant. I need y'all to get that. I need you to get that your assignment is yours. Listen, I love my husband, right? I love my husband. But I have an assignment that's my assignment, right? He has an assignment that is his assignment. And then we have an assignment together, okay? He doesn't lose his assignment because of my assignment. I don't lose my assignment because of his assignment. And we don't lose our assignment because of our individual assignment. I wouldn't want him to do that. I wouldn't want him to forsake his assignment for mine, because then he's going to be unhappy and unfulfilled. And more importantly, he will not be doing what God has called him to do. No, don't you do it. Don't do it. Don't change, what God has called you to do because other people don't get it or don't understand it. Don't do it. It's not their assignment. It's not their assignment. Y'all know me. Bump them. Bump them, for real. Not that you don't care about them, not that you don't love them, not that you don't respect them, but listen, that ain't got nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. One of the greatest releases that I think I've had on this thing called life has been the revelation. Has been the revelation that what God is doing in this season and what God is doing in y'all back. It's the revelation that what God is doing in this season and what God is doing in my life. It's designed specifically for me. Specifically. So that means that I have a responsibility. I have a responsibility to God. I have a responsibility to those who I'm called to do what God has called me to do, and you do too. Don't you do it. Don't back up. Don't stop. Don't give up. Don't quit. Don't allow anything or anyone else to dictate. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Look, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to close. Listen to the voice of God for your life. Understand that God speaks to you specifically, concerning you specifically. You don't need an intermediary. You don't need someone else to tell you what God is saying to you, for you, about you. You just need to hear his voice, accept his words, and do what he tells you to do. If you do that, everything else will fall into place in your life. So, tempted to quit, don't do it. Tempted to stop, don't do it. Tempted to give up, don't do it. Stay focused. Listen to God and let him guide you. I love you guys to life and life more abundant. You all have an amazing, incredible, and epic day. I know I will. Be blessed. Mwah.